Hello, everybody. Thank you to stay here with me. Today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about what's going on with Java. I guess everybody think, "Oh, that's weird. Why you have a release every 6 months right now?" We usually have like a release like after 3 years, and then after 6 months, bam, a new Java version. And the whole idea today is talk about what's going on and why we, the Java community, the JCP, and the Oracle itself decided to move forward with more release instead of wait like 3, 4, 5 years to release a version. Okay? Um, that's my Twitter handle, so Otávio Java. Oh, thank you, Bruno. I'm a little bit tall. Thank you. Okay. I feel like a musician right now. Just left the keyboard. Okay, my Twitter handle, Otávio Java, Otávio Santana. So, okay, let's start. The first point, okay, Bruno mentioned about me, Java Champion, Oracle Groundbreaker, Apache Committer, Eclipse Committer. I do a lot of crazy stuff. I don't drink coffee, sorry for that. But I love pizza, and also I love coconut because I was born in a city nearby the coast, and I love shrimp, fish, and as any Brazilian, I love Brazilian barbecue. And I usually don't like to talk about soccer, World Cup, mainly about Germany and Brazil, and that is all about me. So software. Okay, what is software? The first thing that you need to think is software is everywhere. Skynet's coming. We need to face that. Right now we are leading with machine to machine. Think about it. When I decided to come here, I buy a ticket from any company provider, and then I received a mail. From that mail, my email provider read that email and then fire a Google Calendar to put that event on my calendar. And then I start to receive several fly status message about that. As you can see, I did an action, and then I received an email, and then a lot of action happened between machines. So the calendar read my email, my fly status read my calendar, and so on. Right now we have new business, new approach. Think about Uber. Uber is a huge transportation company who doesn't have any single car. Facebook is a huge content company who usually don't post too much information. So new approach, new business, everything is coming around the software world. And when we talk about software, we think about more release. We would like to release faster to receive more feedbacks to the user, to put the product in the right direction. That's why you think about MVP, minimal valuable product. Because think about it, I'd like you to put the product easier and faster to the market, to receive feedbacks, to fix bugs, and move it forward. I need to make sure that my product is going to the right direction. Right now it's impossible to think to create a product and wait like 3, 4 years to put in the market because you're going to lose time. You're going to lose time to market. So we'd like to release a product fast. That's why you think about person of process. That's why right now we love DDD, domain drive design. The whole idea is to make the code closer to the business guy. Okay? And when you think about agile methodology, we think about small teams and release faster, deliver quickly. And to make it faster and easier, we think about the divide and conquer. And that means small teams. And that means small branch of code. If you think about a huge company such as Bank of America or Amazon, it's almost impossible that this guy just has one repository with the whole branch of code. Of course, no. They usually have a branch, a repository to e-commerce, a repository to each product. Think about an e-commerce product. So e-commerce has a financial service, a financial repository, a product repository who handle products, and so on. The whole idea here is if I can divide and conquer, I can deliver it faster and quickly. And when you think about DevOps, when you think about microservice, we increase a lot the complexity of operation. Because in the past, we had just one machine with just one database. Right now, we have several machines. We have a machine to Microsoft of the financial. We have a machine to Microsoft of product, and so on. Right now, we have several machines. That means more operation. That means we increase the time to work on that machines. That's why was born the DevOps. DevOps is a culture to integrate developers and the operation guys. To again, deliver fast, because when we decide to deliver fast, we have the product in the right direction fast, and you can receive feedback fast. And of course, cloud. What is cloud? Cloud is basically somebody else's computer, right? I don't care about hardware anymore. I don't care. I'd like to move my product to Asia. So let's use some cloud. It's hard to put some engineers or hire somebody from Japan and rent some place to put a server and handle the whole hardware. It's much easier if I just go to some cloud provider, select the region like Asia, and then have hardware there. Cloud means I don't care about hardware anymore. I'd like to move my product faster. And faster means decrease the complexity of somehow. So let's decrease the complexity of hardware to again push the product in the right direction, to delivery quickly, delivery continuously, and move the product in the right direction. Okay? Okay. I'm talking a lot about cloud, delivery faster, receive feedback from the user. So what's going on right now? Why Java decided to move the product every 6 months? Because we'd like to deliver faster to receive feedbacks from the user. Who are the user from the Java? Again, Java is software, right? JVM is a software with several languages, such as C++, C, Shell script, and Java, but that's still a software. Would you like to deliver it faster? To receive faster feedbacks, to failure fast. That's why we decide to release every 6 months the Java product, the Java first version. Okay, I don't like the idea to update my JVM every 6 months, twice in the year. Don't worry about that. That's why we have the LTS, that is a long-term support. So we have right now 2 options. The first option is release every 6 months, to update to the newest Java version. If you don't like the idea, if you don't like the strategy, you just can keep using the LTS, the long-term support. That means you can stay in Java 11 for 2 years and go to Java 17, and then hold for more 2 years and go to Java whatever in the next 3 years. So the whole idea is, okay, I'd like to move faster with Java, that's okay. If you'd like to use the long-term support, that's okay too. I guess almost everybody are using here Java 11, Java 8, right? Who are using Java 11? Okay. Who are using Java 8? Okay. Is there somebody else who are use Java 7, 6, 5, 4? Okay, that's good to know. So if you'd like to keep safer, Java 8 and start to move on to Java 11. And for sure, Java E died and become the Jakarta E. The whole idea is to move the product faster, and right now we are running agile methodology to release every 1 year. We had the idea to release a version every 1 year. That does not belong to Oracle anymore. Oracle decided to move to Eclipse Foundation. So the whole process is open source. The whole discussion are on the mail list. So you can join Jakarta E to have some discussion, put some feedbacks, give some ideas to what is missing on Java E, right now Jakarta E. And for sure, right now we are looking more to cloud native. So we are looking for a resource that makes sense to put in the cloud with Java. And we start to think about several ideas. And also, beyond that, we also have Eclipse MicroProfile. It is also an Eclipse Foundation product. That means Eclipse is more than just an IDE. So Eclipse has several products like Eclipse Collections, right now Jakarta E, MicroProfile and so on. The idea is, again, deliver fast. That's why we have the cadence of 3 months. So every 3 months, we have a new version of Eclipse MicroProfile. And the whole idea is take a small piece of Java E, right now Jakarta E, and create tools to make easier to the Java developer run microservice. Okay? What do we have right now? 2 weeks ago, we released Jakarta E8 that is compatible with Java E8. The whole idea is move the whole code from Oracle to Eclipse Foundation. That's done. And we have Eclipse MicroProfile 3.0. We have several APIs to make easier to the Java developer use microservice and also cloud native. So in the MicroProfile side, we have open tracing, we have open API, we have REST clients, we have configuration API, we have fault tolerance, metrics, and health check, and so on. The first question is, why do we care about standards? Because Java E, right now Jakarta E, a microservice, MicroProfile care a lot about standards. Who here are using Spring? Who knows about Hystrix? Hystrix is an open source product from Netflix that Spring used to fault tolerance, right? However, right now it's deprecated. So if you are using Spring with Hystrix, you're in trouble right now because nobody keep that product anymore. If you decide to use standard, the Eclipse MicroProfile and the Jakarta E, we have several companies work on that. So if Tommy decides to not move forward anymore, don't worry. We have like Red Hat, Turntail, we have Payara, we have several other guys to keep that forward. So we have more companies behind instead of just one. Okay? That's why standards are so important to the Java world. That's why standard makes Java Java. Okay? Because we avoid vendor lock-in. Okay? If you have no idea about what Hystrix is, you are using Spring, so go to the Google right now and think about migrate your code to Jakarta E. And MicroProfile, of course. Okay. We start to work in Jakarta E, and the first specification was Jakarta NoSQL. And my first question is, what NoSQL database is? NoSQL database has the same goal of SQL technology. So I'd like to put information, I'd like to store information in my database, and then return that information somehow. However, in NoSQL database, I don't have structure. I usually don't have schema on my NoSQL database. Usually, NoSQL database is schemaless. I have different types of NoSQL database. Instead of just one, when you think about SQL technology. Okay, let's move on. The first one is key value. The key value, if you are a Java developer, think about map. Give a key, I return the value. The unique way to return information is just from the value, okay? I have several vendors. So I have Amazon Dynamo, Amazon S3, Redis, and Hazelcast. Move on, because I don't have enough time to. The next one, the second type is column family. It looks like key value. So I have my key to return my information, like this guy here. However, I have a different structure from the value. So instead of I have just one huge block of information like this, I put my information in a small piece. That's a column. So as you can see here, I have my key Apollo, and I have my several columns on another side related with that key. So Apollo, my column Sun, with this, my column Dirty, with my Sun information. As you can see here, my information happened just in time. That means just Aphrodite has color, because the information happened when I created it. That's a little bit different if you think about SQL technology, because the information is there, however the value is null, right? It's empty, the information. So let's move on to the third type, document database. Think about JSON or XML file. That's the structure. We also have several vendors. We have Apache Couchbase, and MongoDB. I guess the MongoDB is the most famous one, right? So let's move on. And the last type is graph. What is graph? The whole idea of the graph database is to store the information with a deep relationship. Think about that relationship here. I have my vertex, the blue ball here, and I have my edge. That's object to storage my relationship, okay? So I have Apollo and Aris. Both are brothers, so I have a bidirectional relationship. And I have Apollo and Kratos. Kratos killed Apollo, and Apollo was killed by Kratos. That means I have two objects with two different relationships. So going that direction, I killed. Going that direction, I was killed by. And that is meaningful when you think about recommendation engine. Because I can know a lot of famous people. However, that does not mean that people knows me. Think about Beyonce. I know Beyonce. However, Beyonce does not know about me, unfortunately. I'm sad about that. And more people like this. So I can build a recommendation system based on that information, and it's going to be easier than use SQL or relational database technology, okay? And again, we have several vendors. We have Neo4j, we have InfoGrid, we have Sony's, and we have HyperGraphDB. On the NoSQL world, we have like over 200 NoSQL vendors. There's a huge amount of NoSQL vendors, right? And what happens if you'd like to change between this NoSQL database? I'm using, I don't know, MongoDB, and like to change to another document API. That's going to be a little bit difficult to me, right? It's going to be harder because I don't have a standard to make it easier to me. If I'm using SQL technology and I'm using something like PostgreSQL and like to change to MySQL, I just need to change to my driver. That's the whole idea of the first specification of Jakarta E, the Jakarta NoSQL. The whole idea is to make easier to the Java developer use NoSQL with Java E technology based on standards. So I have two APIs, basically. One API to mapping, think about JPA, and the second API is the communication, think about JDBC. Okay? Mapping, JPA, my object, I put several annotations. Communication, JDBC, the allow communication between the database and the Java itself. Okay? And as you can see here, I have each API, I have two different APIs. One API, two different types. So I have one API to column, one API to document, one API to key value, and one API to graph. Okay? That's the whole idea of Jakarta NoSQL. Okay, let's take a look on this sample here. So I have 4 different databases. So one is ArongoDB, MongoDB, Couchbase, RNDB. Okay? 4 different databases. Both are document NoSQL database. Okay? As you can see here, I have red and blue information. Basically, I'd like to put a document inside my document database. So red and blue, name and value, name and value, name and value, name and value. And each API has different classes, different methods name, and so on. The whole idea of the standards is, if you'd like to do the same thing, why not one API to make that easier to use? So instead of, I need to remember or memorize different APIs to each NoSQL database, just use this guy here, and each vendor gonna implement of this way. That's the whole idea. Also gonna be easier to move to another document API. Think about a huge, a massive branch, a massive repository with a lot of code with NoSQL, with a NoSQL database like MongoDB, and you'd like to move MongoDB to Couchbase. That's going to be harder, right? If you start to use my Jakarta NoSQL specification, going to be a little bit easier to us to move on between NoSQL database. Okay? Of course, we'd like to put more diversity on the API. That means particular behavior matter on NoSQL database and also matters to Jakarta NoSQL. So take this sample here. I'm using Cassandra, and I'd like to use a specific behavior like Cassandra query language. That's possible, right? So I can run my SQL and also define my consistency level. There's something who belongs to Cassandra. So I can use specific particular behavior from a NoSQL database if I wish to. Of course, if you decide to use any particular behavior, you're going to have the lock-in. Like if you are using JDBC, and stop to JDBC and put some resource that's specific to Oracle or MySQL. Okay, let's move on to mapping. The whole idea of mapping is communication API integrated with CDI and annotation driving. We have several providers, okay? And let's go to the demo. Okay. what is the whole idea here right now? What I'd like to do? Basically, I have a Maven project that I'm gonna run a NoSQL database, and I'm gonna integrate it with my Jakarta NoSQL specification. Okay, that's a Maven project. That means I have my .xml file that has my dependencies. So as you can see here, my properties with version. I have my UL, that is my CDI implementation from Jakarta EE words. I have my JSON beam processor, that's JSON. And now what I have my Jakarta NoSQL dependencies. The first one is mapper, again, JPA. So I have a mapper to the document API, a mapper to key value API, a mapper to column API, and then a mapper to graph database. And my driver, my communication layer, think about JDBC. So I have MongoDB, I have Cassandra, I have Redis, and I have graph database. To make that easier to me, I have my Docker Compose file. And the whole idea here is to run easy for different databases. On this case, for NoSQL database. So key value service, I'm gonna run Redis. A column service, I'm gonna run Cassandra. A document service, I'm gonna run MongoDB. And to graph, for sure, again, that's the most popular one to graph database, I'm gonna run Neo4j. Okay? The whole idea here is, with just this file, I'm gonna run 4 different NoSQL databases. That's easier than if you decide to go to the website, install everyone manually. So let's start. So I'm gonna run here, Docker, Compose, and then up. And this guy gonna start my whole system. So my 4 different databases, Redis, Cassandra, MongoDB, and Neo4j. Okay, let's start with my entity. So let's create the first one. That's gonna be my God entity. So I have my God entity here. So my God gonna have 3 attributes, 3 fields. So the first one is the ID. The second one gonna be the name, the God name, so name. And the last one is list of powers. Okay, I'm gonna put a constructor with just this guy here, and an empty constructor. And my last step is create my front-end technology, think about my log. So I'm gonna put my toString here, and then use log to check the results, okay? Right now I have my Java entity, so a God entity with long ID, name, and power. The next step is to do that integration on the mapping layer, for sure. How can I do that? Just put a notation. So I'd like to define this God class as an entity. So let's put an entity annotation. And then I'd like to define this ID as an ID. So let's use the ID annotation. And then the another guy is gonna be my column. So my column and my column. And that's all that I have right now. Okay? So basically what I did, I created my class, I put some annotation, and the next step is make it fun. Let's start with the easier one, that's a key value, and then go to the MongoDB, right? So the first step is create my God. I love Diana, so new Diana. Then I have an ID, I have a name, and the list of powers, so collection, singlet list, and hunt, like, you know, baby shark. So right now I have my guard, and I'd like to get this guy here and put in a NoSQL database. My first one gonna be Redis. So Redis is a key value NoSQL database. So let's use template to make that easier to store this guy there. So key value template, key value template. I'd like to use this guy. Right now I'm using CDI 2.0. CDI 2.0 has support to Java SE. That means I can create a container and then inject my objects from that container. And that's what I did here. So I have my SE container. As you can see my package, it belongs to Javax Enterprise. That means CDI. And right now I'm gonna use my container to inject my guy. So container, select key value template. Okay, the first step is store some information on my key value on Redis. So let's put Diana, okay? The second step is return some information from let's create a front-end technology. So the result is my God. Then remove information from the database and then put some logs again. Run the query again. Okay, let's run this guy. So what I'd like to do, I'm gonna run this app class. It's gonna start my CDI container, as you can see here. And first, it's gonna return the information from the Redis database, because what I did, I stored the information, I did a query, delete, so when I did it again, the guy gonna be empty. Of course, if I decide to don't delete, the information gonna be there. So let's run again. And then my result gonna be there twice. The first result, the second result. What else I can do? I can define TTL. What is TTL? Time to live. What does time to live mean? That means if I wish, I can define how long my information gonna be on my database, and then it's gonna be expired. Usually in the API, I put a number, so like 12. My first question is 12 what? 12 seconds, 12 milliseconds, 12 hours, 12 days. I have no idea when I just put the number there. That's why I decided to use DDD. So instead of put just a number, we're gonna use duration. So duration, there's an API who belongs to Java 8, so I can define seconds. Duration of 1 second. So what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna define duration of a second, wait for 2 seconds, and when I do the query again, the information is gonna be empty, right? So let's see what's going on. So I start my container, it's waiting for 2 seconds, and then when I run the query again, it's gonna be empty, okay? As you can see here, I'm just using standards. If I'd like to choose Redis to another key value, I just need to go here to my .xml file, and then for sure, where are you? Here, choose select another guy. That's the build of standards on Jakarta NoSQL database itself. Okay? Let's move to the second sample. Okay? Right now, I'm gonna move my code to a document API. I'd like to use MongoDB. Why MongoDB? I guess because that's the most popular NoSQL database in the world right now. So let's do the classic technique. That's a call of Ctrl-V, copy-paste, and then document app. So now I have a new class. And now what I'd like to do? I'd like to integrate between MongoDB and my Java application. MongoDB is a document API, right? It's a document NoSQL database. So I need to update this guy here to use document template. Document template, so I need to inject a document template for sure. And the names, the nomenclature are different. Why? Because the structure is different. So take a look at this guy here. Right now, I don't have put. I have insert and update. So let's create Diana. I don't have get. Why I don't have get? Because in the key value, I just have one way to find information. On the document, I can use more ways. Like I can do a constant do a query by the name. Okay, so let's find by ID. That's gonna be the easier one. Okay, and then remove this little guy here. So let's run this guy again. Right now I'm running MongoDB, as you can see here. What I did, so Diana, document template, insert, and then find by ID. Okay? To do queries is a little bit different because document has more feature to do search than key value. Okay, does anybody else know about Fluent API? Who knows about Fluent API here? Okay. What is the idea of the Fluent API? The whole idea of the Fluent API is to avoid the developer make mistakes. To make easier to the developer do something, okay? The first step is to create my document query. So that's a query. And then let's use the Fluent API to make that easier. So document query, I know that. And then I need to do the first step. What is the first step? I need to select the fields that are going to return. On this case, let's return all. So select all. I have no idea about the next step. You don't need to memorize anything. So as you can see here, I put my dot and then shows up from. So shows up from God. And then I have no idea. Don't worry. The Fluent API makes it easier to use. So right now I have some options. I have where, order by, limit, skip, and so on. So let's define where, name. The options, again, it's show ups. So have equals, in, between, greater than equals, and so on. So let's make equals Diana. And then what can I do? Select it. It's going to return to me on a string API. So as you can see here. So let's run this guy again. First, why not the put method on the name? That's usually going to be the first question. The answer is something like that. As you can see, I try to insert twice my information, and it returns a duplicated key error collection. Why? Because I tried to insert twice an information with the same ID. What can I do instead? I can use my update method, so, and move it that one. So let's see what's going on. As you can see here, I did a query using my Fluent API. Of course, if I wish to run a query by text, that's fine as well. So what can I do? I can do a query, use any string, so select from God where name Let's run again. You have two options. And again, you don't need to care about each NoSQL I'm going to use. I just need to use that API. It's going to be easier to change. Okay, I'd like to use prepare statement. That's fine as well. So name. So let's put prepare here. Now I have my prepare. I need to bind. Name with Diana. And then I get my results. Okay? Let's run this guy again. What happened? Basically, what I did, I used the prepare statement to do prepare statement like I usually have on JDBC or JPI technology. Okay? Is there any question about it? No? Okay. Let's check my time. So 8 minutes. What I did here, basically, I create a simple Java SE application with CDI 2.0, a Jakarta EE technology, and I did some integrations with NoSQL database and Java, just using Jakarta NoSQL specification. As you can see here, the integration was based on CDI. So if you like to do something like this, it's possible as well. Who here knows about Spring Data? Who knows about Spring Data? A little bit, okay. So I can do something similar to Spring Data. So I have my God repository. I have that extend my repository. I have two parameters. The first one gonna be my God, and my second one gonna be my ID. So it has several methods because that's an interface, and I can create something like list God, find by name, string name. And I even don't need to care about it. So I create my template. Let's create my God repository, repository, container, select, God repository. I need to define my qualifier of document. And what can I do? I can go here, query, Diana. As you can see, I just created the interface. And let's run this guy again. And that is it. So my query is here. I can do integration between repository and also my standard query. So if I like to do something like that, query, I can do query, select, name from God where name equals name, and then I can go here, parameter, name, and then run the query again. The this time as query. And then run again. As you can see here, I have my name, however, an empty power. Why an empty power? Because I just select the name. Okay, but I didn't select the ID because on MongoDB, the ID is the mandatory field. So you can choose anything else than the ID. So ID is the mandatory one. So I have 3 fields, I choose one, so that is it for my side. Okay, so I just said, well, you have some idea what's going on the Jakarta world right now, so you can make easier the integration between Java and NoSQL database. Something like repository concept approach. We have also support to pagination. Okay, let's go quickly to a tool here. So what I did here, I have a huge project, right? And this project has integration with MicroProfile. I have 4 projects. Each project belongs to a microservice. So I have a conference management. So one product is a conference who handle about conference, session to session, speaker to speaker, and so on. And the client is a guy who just has the front-end technology to shows up this information as HTML5. I don't have enough time, so let's go quickly here. So basically, what am I doing? Jakarta IE and MicroProfile, okay? This guy here is just the client. So I have, for example, my speaker service. What this guy do? It's gonna do integration between my ATP, my service, with my speaker's resource. That is my resource with JAX RS, okay? And basically, this guy has my whole information, and my speaker service is just a client. As you can see here, I just put some interface and annotation. I don't care to create my HTTP client by hand. I put my interface and done. I don't care about it. To move to cloud easily, I'm using a Platform.sh solution. Platform.sh is a platform service. And the whole idea here is to make easier to you move your application to the cloud based on 3 files, okay? The first file here is a service that has the service that I'd like to put on my project. The second file is the route. So as you can see here, I define like my client. My default request is going to be to my client application. And the last one is my application file, who has my application description to build my application itself. So as you can see here, I'm using Maven. So I'm running MVN. I did the relationship, so I'm saying that my client should have access to a speaker, to conference, a session, and nothing else. If you go to another guy here, I don't know, this speaker here, this guy just has access to PostgreSQL. Why that? Container is amazing, but there are several things that we need to handle about it, like security, access, grant access to a specific database, to a specific service, and so on. So let's open my console here right now. So let's open my console here. That is my Platform.sh console. I have one product here that's a Latin America console. Basically, with these 3 files, I push to the master, so it's a Git-based, so everything is infrastructure by a code. And then it creates my whole service graph. My host, my speaker who has access to PostgreSQL, my client who has access to session and to conference and to speaker, and my client does not have access to my database, as you can see here. Okay? So the whole idea is to make easier to you put your application container and move to the cloud, use this solution that's a Platform.sh. Okay? To show how easy is that, so let's create a one. Okay, Oklahoma project. I can choose some option here, so I have several languages, so I don't know, Java. I can choose Payara Micro. Then next, I select the size of the service, and then the region, so Europe. And then I'm gonna create my instance based on that. The whole idea is I'm just using standard, my Java standard to run my application in the cloud, okay? Whilst it's running, let's return to my demo. What I did two demonstrations. The first one was about a Java SE application with Jakarta EE and the first Jakarta specification, that is Jakarta NoSQL, to make that easier. The second one was the integration to microservice with Eclipse MicroProfile. And the third one, what I did was to move that application to cloud using Platform.sh. So the whole idea is to be a Git-based technology, so you push to the master and they start to build your application in the cloud. You can deploy anywhere that you wish, so you can deploy in Amazon, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Orange, and so on. The whole idea is you can work with any Git repository, so you can work with GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket. And the idea is to make easier to you put the application container. So instead of you care about Docker and about deploy, something like that, Platform.sh make easier to you, okay? We have several clients, so over 1,000 clients, like this guy here, Johnson & Johnson, Arsenal, and Unit, okay? We have support to several languages. Why? Because it's about container. So you can select the language as you wish, and then you can select the service as you wish, just using codes. So you define it by code, and then you can handle everything to you. Okay? Elasticsearch, InfluxDB, Kafka, Redis, MongoDB, MySQL, and so on. And as Java developer, we have support to a lot of Java frameworks, Java builds like Gradle, Maven, Spring, Jakarta EE, Java EE, MicroProfile, and so on. And that's all my presentation. That's my QR code if you'd like to know more about me, about what I'm doing in the Java EE world. So take this QR code, access the link. This link has access to several blog posts and several articles about Java, Jakarta EE, Cloud, and for sure about Platform.sh. That's my company right now. So that's my Twitter, Otávio Java, and at Platform.sh, the Platform.sh Twitter. So is there any question?
I was curious if you could show us the configuration of the Apache NoSQL file.
The no.
File that sets up the.
This guy here?
Sorry, for your NoSQL.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat that for the stream. I was just curious to see what the configuration file looks like to set up your database connections.
Okay. Basically, what I have here, I have 3 properties file. Okay. My first property file is Redis. I'm just using the default configuration, so I don't need to care. Okay, if I'd like you to choose something like Redis, host, any host. While I'm just using the local host is a default information. And I have MongoDB that has my connection, so localhost and the port. If I decide to use the default localhost, the default host, the localhost, and the default port, I don't need to handle about that. That's going to be the default information. And I have also Cassandra that use the default information here. And I have some key space. So I have one file to each NoSQL provider. I can make just one if I wish. As a demo, I usually put in 3 different files, just to make it easier to you.
How do you specify which provider it's going to be?
Okay, that's a good question. On CDI, I forgot to mention, thank you for that. I just need to put that available to my NoSQL database. So what I did, so I have my Redis configuration that has my configuration for Redis, okay? Then I create my configuration, and this configuration returned to me a bucket manager factory. And based on that, I return my bucket manager. If you go to JPA technology, we have the entity manager factory, and we have the entity manager. So that is my entity manager factory, and that's my entity manager, okay? That is exactly something from Cassandra with column, so entity manager factor and my entity manager, and to MongoDB, entity manager factor and my entity manager. I make that this guy available to CDI, and everything else is done. Okay? Is that? Oh, this belongs to CDI, as you can see here. CDI.
What if you wanted to use 2 different ones at the same time? So like I want to use Redis and Memcache.
Okay, that's a good question. On CDI, the question.
Yeah, so here you used different producers for different types of NoSQL databases. So if you wanted to use 2 of the same kind, a Redis and Memcache, for example.
Okay, Redis and Memcache. If you try to use, it's going to return an ambiguous exception on CDI word. That's why we have qualifier. So you can create qualifier to make that easier. So you can go here, produce, and then define a qualifier. We have a default one, that's a database. So you can define the name, for example, the name, the provider, something like Redis, whatever you wish. So what's going on here? Oh, yeah, the type. Database type. And then when you decide to inject this guy, you put the sum qualifier, and that is it, okay? As you can see, we are just using CDI technology. Anything else? Okay? Is there any more question about it?
Is the code you use for this presentation available somewhere?
For sure. My whole code is on GitHub. That includes the product itself. So you can go there on the Eclipse, GitHub/Eclipse/JNoSQL. You're going to have the whole code, the whole product, everything there. By the way, once you're there, just go there, open PR, give feedbacks, open issues, and so on. Guys, thank you for your time. Now I'd like to call a brave guy here. Oh, sorry.